Have you ever felt just way too stressed? Like you just can't deal with what's going on in life? If you feel that, I'm gonna give you some incredible, deep, directive attention to why that is, why that's coming up for you. And what I'm really fucking excited about is how to help you stop that so you feel stronger in life, so you feel like you can handle the challenges life throws at you. Build that resilience muscle so you can truly build the life you want, because no matter what journey you're on, you're gonna find yourself coming up against obstacles. But the key is all those things are perceived obstacles, as we're gonna talk about today. So in today's episode, I'm gonna share with you guys exactly why things hurt so much. Where does this hurt come from? And how can we learn to stop running from our pain, but actually learn to face it so that we can develop the muscles that we need to be successful, okay? So without further ado, my name is Brett from Brett Bailey Coaching, and I'm so happy to have you guys here today. If you don't know what I do, I work with the 3 Ps I think are the most important to live a happy, successful, incredible life. Number 1, personality, what we're gonna talk about today. Number 2, performance. Number 3, people. You wanna master those 3 things if you wanna live an absolutely free life. And that's what I'm all about. So without further ado, we're gonna answer the question, how strong are you, baby? How strong are you? It's not about that. It's not about flexing. It's about how strong internally are you. Really, when things happen, does it really bother you? Or can you kind of just brush it off the shoulder? Now, what I'm gonna share with you guys today is the more strong you are, the more equipped you are to deal with life's challenges. It's not like life gets easier. Life never gets easier. Why? Because life never changes. Life is what it is. But you can always get stronger. And that's really what emotional work, emotional fitness, emotional intelligence is about. It's about learning how to move, manage, work with the emotions that come up so that you can take on life with the most powerful, the most empowering emotions you possibly can in your freaking life forever and always. Okay, so here we go. Let's dive into this thing. So this is a person here who has a lot of force field around them. I could even add some here and here. They have a force field around them. Things bounce off of them. They got it. Stresses come. People hurt them. People betray their trust. And it might hurt for a second, but like, I got this. Life's gonna be okay. They have a great belief system. They might feel the pain for, a few moments, but then they let the pain pass through them and they're able to move on even quicker to the next thing. But some of you have a more difficult time moving on. And some of you try to move on too quickly when it's actually important to stay with the emotions that you feel and work with the different parts of yourself that feel hurt, betrayed, angry, sad, shameful, guilty, right? It's important to actually work with these parts. So I'm gonna describe the 3 steps, the 3 real things that happen to us when we're living our lives as these human beings who were once babies but are now adults. Supposedly we're adults. Society tells us we're adults, but most people are just big kids. We're all just big kids. And so we still have emotions that come up. We still have things we don't know how to deal with, problems that come up, etc. Okay, the model I'm gonna share with you is the internal family systems model made by Dr. Dick Schwartz. I can't remember what university he went to, but he's incredibly amazing, and his process, internal family systems, gives us such a clear framework to work with for how to start to overcome these problems that plague us all and build this strength, build this resilience. It all starts off in childhood. So you were just a child at one point. Remember that? You used to be a child. You couldn't think or learn the way you're learning now. You learn in a totally different way. You perceived life totally differently. There was a time when things were just shapes and sounds and colors. There was no meaning, no story around it. Right now, you can tell me the story that I'm a human. His name is Brett. He is a male. But there was a time in your life a long time ago when you're just a little baby, when I was just a shape and a color and a thing moving. There was no added structure or substance to all that yet. And at that time, you perceived the world very, very differently. And at that time, your nervous system is so much more sensitive than it is now. Now, as you're an adult watching this, you can actually regulate your own nervous system. You can put your hand on your heart, you can breathe deeply, you can remind yourself how loved you are, you can connect to your creator if that's your thing. There's many ways you can use to regulate yourself, regulate your emotions. If you're angry, you can feel it, but you can let those pass through. You can come back to compassion and forgiveness. If you feel sad, you can feel that, but you can come back to gratitude and hope and focusing on what's good in your life, right? You can regulate your own emotions. You have the capacity, the ability to now. But when you're a baby, it's a very different story. You actually need your parents to regulate your emotions for you. That's one of the core jobs of a parent, is to bring their presence into your space so that whatever you're going through, the anger, the sadness, the fear, the frustration, you feel that they're there for you. They got you, and they, with their presence, co-regulate you. Show you how to regulate. But what if they're not there? Or what if they have twisted beliefs about what parenthood is like, and they actually don't even know how to be present with you? Then you're gonna get hurt. And that's what happens to most of us, okay? Pretty much everyone has some type of hurt, but let me share with you specifically some things that happen. When you're a child, you develop emotional burdens and belief burdens. Through your experiences, you learn, are people safe? Is the world safe? You learn, am I lovable? Am I not? And you learn what I need to do to be rejected and what I need to do to be loved. You learn there's certain things that you do. If you do these things, you'll be loved. If you do these things, you're gonna be rejected. You're gonna lose love. And love is oxygen. It is oxygen for the human life. You need oxygen to survive, and that's what love is. Love is your oxygen when you're a baby, when you're an infant. It's still oxygen, frankly, for us now, but when you're an infant, you are desperately in need of it. Now, as an adult, there are many ways to fill your own needs for love. Now, we still co-regulate each other to a certain degree. We still all need love and connection. It's a human need, but when you're an infant, it's a survival need. It's an absolute survival need. Okay, so what kind of burdens do we get? Some burdens we can call fear or terror. Other burdens that we get could be called shame or guilt. Other burdens that we could be called anger. And what are some beliefs? We could say people aren't safe. People aren't safe. Another belief we can get is I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy. The core wound that most people have, especially in Western culture, is the wound of unworthiness, the trance of unworthiness. We just believe there's something wrong with us. I'm not smart enough, I'm not funny enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not disciplined enough. There's something wrong with me inherently, and I feel like shit about that. Shame is one of the hardest things to overcome for any of us, but it's super present in our culture. So when we're children, we learn these beliefs. Now, your parent might ignore you, they might physically abuse you, they might verbally abuse you, they might emotionally abuse you, they might just ignore you, they may give more attention to another sibling, they may never take your problems seriously. They may only give you attention when you give them attention. They might use you for their emotional needs. There's all these things that parents can do to make you feel like you are not worthy, you are not enough. Okay, so let's just start with the presupposition that you probably have some of these burdens, okay? And I want to just acknowledge that some of them are bad, we could say some of them are good. Sometimes you get beliefs that are really helpful, but a lot of the beliefs you get are not actually that helpful for you. Like I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm not safe, these types of things. So that's the first step, that's step number one. You came into this world pure, you didn't have these negative beliefs yet, you just came in open to receive. Let's just say you're a blank slate. You certainly took in some genetic things, some legacy burdens, they call it, things from your generation. If you live in Europe, for example, or if you're, live with a descendant from the Holocaust, you can actually take on those traumas genetically. But let's just say that you come in generally a blank slate to some degree. Through your childhood, you learn what's okay, what's not okay, you develop these burdens. I think we're on the same page. Then what happens is, because it's too much for your sensitive nervous system to handle, it's imagine getting burned like with fire, but you can't stop it. It's just like it just hurts, it just hurts, it just hurts. No parent is around to help and protect me. Well, then what happens is we have to respond in some way, and we respond by exiling those parts of us that feel all the pain. So we actually can't believe that we're unlovable. That's too painful. That's much too painful. It's much easier to say, it's my fault. It's much easier to just dissociate from your body. Those are responses to pain. So we learn to exile the parts of ourself that feel these burdens of emotion, that have all this rage, that have all this terror, that have all this shame or guilt or anger. We push those away. We try not to focus them. We just suppress them and we dissociate from our body. Or we do something to not feel the pain. And that was one of the first mistakes that we made, even though it was an innocent mistake. Okay? And after that, we then go to step 3, which is we develop these protecting parts to help us keep avoiding the pain. For example, we might become an achiever, because if I just achieve enough, that will prove I'm not worthless. That will compensate for the worthlessness I feel. It ultimately doesn't, but you think it does. We can control our relationships. If I can just manage my relationships, then they'll go the way that I want and I won't get rejected. I won't trigger these deep burdens of rejection I feel deep down. Right? If I can just, control my work and I can just make enough money, then I will never have to feel like I'm unsafe in the world again. Again, it's compensating for the deep core emotions and beliefs you developed in childhood. Caretaker, that's a common one, especially for therapists like myself. Caretaking is very, very common. So you may learn to caretake for everyone else and never care about yourself, just because that's the way you learn to get love. If I took care of mom and I took care of dad, or I took care of one of them, they would actually give me attention. They would give me love, which remember is oxygen for you. I might become a perfectionist because if I just do everything perfectly, no one will ever say anything's wrong with me. I'll never have to trigger these deep burdens of worthlessness and shame. I might become a nice guy. This was a pattern for me because if I can just people please and be a nice guy and be a good boy, then I'll get rewarded by people. I'll get validated, which will help me compensate for how shameful and how worthless I feel. People will actually like me. They won't reject me. Okay, another one. I might numb and distract myself. So usually when these ones don't work, then we go to numbing, distraction, addiction, emotional outbursts, something that gets us out of that energy or releases the energy. Emotional outbursts, rage attacks, anger attacks, anxiety attacks, panic attacks. When you can't control the emotions anymore with all these guys, the emotions gotta come out, or it starts to come out and it's too much to handle, so you go drink, or you go smoke, or you go start to masturbate, or you go buy a hooker because you just have to distract yourself, numb yourself, get addicted to something so that you don't have to feel the emotions that you feel deep down. Is this making some sense? So this is really what's happening. So to come back to our initial question, how strong are you? You've been trying to be strong your whole life. You've been trying to avoid these things your whole life, but real strength, my friends, comes from vulnerability. Real strength comes from having the courage to face the burdens that life gave you and help these parts of you heal. Because if you keep running away with it, with achieving, with controlling, with caretaking, with perfectionism, you're never going to truly heal, ever. You have to learn to stop these patterns that have kept you safe your whole life and take the risk of just feeling the uncertainty of the pain you have in your body. But when you do that, my friends, you give yourself a chance to heal those root causes, those pains, those deep hurts. And when you do that, you actually have the ability now to change. You can unburden yourself. You can free yourself from all this pain, which means you can stop achieving from a place of hurt. You can still achieve things, but you can do it from a place of not stressing all the time. You can stop having to control your relationships in your body or your work, and you can start to relax in life more. You can stop having a caretaker, be the perfect perfectionist, nice people pleaser, and you can start to just relate to people, have fun with people, be okay to tease people, be okay to hurt people's feelings if it means being your authentic self. You can start to be yourself, enjoy your life, but you have to have the courage to face these deeper burdens first. So if you want true strength, real strength, it comes from vulnerability, my friends. It does not come from trying to overcome or push or avoid your feelings. The message here is to face your feelings. When you face them fully, heart open, and you learn how to help these parts of yourself heal, then you have true freedom in your life. You have true strength in your life. Then no matter what happens, even if these things get triggered, even if you feel scared, even if you feel anger, even if you feel shame, even if you're scared of being embarrassed, scared of putting yourself out there, you know now because you've built up trust, no matter what I feel, I'll be there. I'll be able to handle it. I can handle this. And that is a trust like no other. That is an experience like no other. So if that's what you want, my friends, you can have it. But you got to have the courage to face that stuff. Okay, so I hope this really makes sense to you. And if any of you want to explore a one-on-one session with me, please just reach out. I always give everyone's first session for free. I don't need to give the sessions for free, but I want to because I know that some of you want this work, but might be afraid to pay or make the commitment just because you don't know if the work really works. Or maybe you've tried some other stuff in the past, you don't know if it really works, but you want the result, you want to feel free, you want to feel happy. You want to have great relationships and feel like you can just be yourself and stop controlling things and feeling stressed. But you don't know if it'll work. So if you've never done a session with me, I'll offer you one for free just as my gift to you. But if you don't want to work with me, find someone or something you can do to really start to tap into this energy, because if you do, when you do, your whole life will shift. The colors will seem brighter, people will seem nicer, money will seem easier to make, life will get less stressful, more opportunities will open up to you. This isn't some fairy tale vision. I've lived this and I've helped hundreds of other people live this. And I've heard stories of thousands of other people who have done this same type of transformational work. And transformation, people think it's like this positive, happy thing all the time. It actually means facing your pain. You know, you transmute that into pleasure, but it often starts with facing your pain. So don't wait for life to hit you with that spiritual 2x4 like Peter Crone would say. Wake up now. Choose to face yourself now. You're just prolonging the suffering and the pain. I mean, you can do this now and shift your life. So that's my invitation to you. So lots of love to all you. Thanks for watching. If you like it, then like it. Like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend if you got some value. Hope it really served you guys today. So thank you very much for your time and attention, and we'll see you on the next episode.